How we doing? Welcome to another edition of Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime, the YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal, and this is part one of a pre-draft special. We'll look at we'll cover all the bases tonight. Look at what the Lions may or may not do. Before we talk any football or Lions, I'd like to make a comment on the Tigers. They might have played their most complete game of the year last night. George Scuba was outstanding, dominating. He's 3-0 now with an ERA of about 1.6. Is he a Cy Young candidate? If he keeps this up, I think he will be. Boys are hitting a little bit too, aren't they? 13 runs in their last two games. It's good to see the production come around. Still waiting for Torch's first home run, but they're 13-10 right now. And the good thing about the Tigers too, the encouraging thing at this point is they're 9-3 on the road. And keep in mind that they were the only team last year in the American League Central Division to have a winning road record. So it's good to see them continue to play well on the road this year. Now, just as it was last night, I forgot to plug the mic in. If you can't hear me, fine. Here we go. Just as it was last night, you have a pretty good feeling when Tarek Skubal goes to the mound. You bring a pretty good chance of winning that game, but who's pitching tonight? Kenta Maeda. And I've already penciled that in as a loss. He's got a track record of not pitching very well in April. I think last year with the Twins, I may or may not have pointed this out earlier in an earlier show. He was 4-0 last April with an ERA over 9. If it win tonight, it'd be a bonus. I don't expect it. Go to tomorrow, try to win the series, try to take 2 out of 3. But as we stand right now, the Tigers are 13-10, tied for second place in American League Central with the Kansas City Royals. I think they're 3.5 behind the Indians, who refuse to lose. They're at home tonight playing Boston. It gets you caught up on baseball a little bit. So before we get to the Lions at football and the draft, I'd like to put in a good word, as you've heard me before, for Goodman, who without his technical assistance, I wouldn't be able to do this. And that would be Tim Lindley, pardon me, at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, the most tech-savvy man in our area. He's at 37 Howell Street. It's about 100 yards. Again, I keep saying Howell Street. It's not Howell Street. It's 37 Waldron Street, 100 yards west of Howell Street. He and his assistant Zach are the two most tech-savvy guys I know of around here. And any tech issue you have, if you're in the market for a new computer, you're looking for a used computer maybe, or maybe the computer you have needs a little work done on it, they'll fix you right up. No problem. If you've got you just bought a new flat screen smart TV, maybe you need it mounted and programmed, they'll take care of that for you. No problem. If you have an internet issue, maybe you're changing internet providers and you're not quite capable of doing that, Tim can do that for you. Anything. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Tim's your guy. Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 37 Waldron Street, about 100 yards west of Howell. His phone number there is 517-610-5372, or better still, get in there and see him. And when you do, please tell him Rick sent you. I'd appreciate that. Thanks. I thought with the Lions tonight in the draft, they've got the 29th pick. And I think the chances of them either moving up or moving down, trading down, are greater than them staying at 29 where they are right now. But what I'm going to do tonight is, if they were to stay at 29, and who knows, the Lions don't even know that right now. But I can tell you one thing, those guys in Allen Park are not sleeping at all this week. If they are, it can't be very, very much sleep. They're probably working 24 hours trying to figure this thing out, doing any number of mocks on their own. But the way this works is they've got a bucket of maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 players that they have an interest in. And with each selection that gets made, whether or not that player's gone or still there yet, depends on what the Lions are going to do. So with that, if they do stay at 29, here's a look at 10 players who could be on the board late in the first round that the Lions would definitely have an interest in taking. Number one on this list is, in my opinion, the greatest, not the greatest. he's the best and most versatile offensive lineman in this draft. And the Lions folks put a big premium on versatility when it comes to both offense and defense. If a lineman can play center and guard or tackle, that's a great advantage, either on defense or offense. And a lot of these linemen in the draft this year, especially the ones that are going to go in the first round and early in the second round, are all versatile. They can play a center, guard, or tackle. And again, that's a great advantage for any team. So Graham Barton, B-A-R-T-O-N, offensive lineman out of Duke University. In my humble opinion, I think he's the best offensive lineman in this class. That's why I've got him rated so high. Versatility, that's the key. He's, he's supposed to go somewhere in the 20s. That's where most mocks have him listed. But with that kind of versatility, he'd be an asset for any team. His ability to bounce in or out, great value for any team. Remember that name because he's going to go high. And I doubt very much if the Lions stay at 29, he'll be there. But I threw his name in there anyway, just in case. You never know. Stranger things have happened. So, number two, edge rusher out of Penn State, Chop Robinson. Had a terrific combine. He could, playing in space, he'd be a great complement to Aiden Hutchinson on bookend edges. He's, like I said, he's terrific against the run, and he had a good year this year at Penn State, and he again, I'd say right now there's probably a 50-50 chance that he would be available at 29. But I've got him up there at second anyway. Third, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and I'm sure you've heard his name many times before in umpteen number of mocks. The cornerback out of Alabama. He was a 3-year starter in Tuscaloosa for the Crimson Tide. Has all the physical tools. He's smart, and he plays with discipline. I don't think he's as good as his teammate, Terrion Arnold, who's going to go much higher than him. Arnold, if the Lions were going to get Arnold, they'd have to trade up to get him. And again, this is provided they stay at 29. Number 4, defensive tackle out of Illinois, Jer'Zhan Newton. Athletic, powerful, interior defender. Made his living playing in the opponent's backfield last year. He had 44 quarterback pressures. That's 15 more than any other defensive interior lineman in the Big Ten had last year. Wonderful player. I'd be very happy with any one of these guys if the Lions were to get them in the first round at 29. Christmas will have come early if any of these guys are there at 29. But remember that name, then Jer'Zhan Newton, defensive tackle out of Illinois. Number 5, wide receiver Adonai Mitchell out of Texas. Had an impressive combine. He's 6'2", had a 4.34 in the 40. Good skills. He's great going up getting 50-50 balls. He caught 55 passes for 845 yards with 11 touchdowns last year for the Longhorns. Remember that name, Adonai Mitchell. At number 6, we've got, this is the guy I really like. You talk about versatility. This, if this guy is there at 29, if they've got a camera in the Lions war room, you'll see Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell doing handstands and cartwheels in there. They won't just be slapping tables or doing high fives. Cooper DeJean, the quarterback out of Iowa. This is a very special player, folks. He might be the most versatile defensive player in the draft. He was the Big Ten defensive. He was the Big Ten defensive back of the year last year. He was the Big Ten return specialist of the year. He can play corner and safety, and that's what I like about him. And again, the key here for the Lions is versatility. This guy you don't lose anything. You don't lose anything at all, either at cornerback or safety. But not only that, with the kickoff rules the way they are now, you put this guy back there with Jameson Williams on kickoffs, receiving kickoffs, that they would give special team coordinators fits, giving him nightmares. He provides great value because, like I said, he's a hybrid. He can return kicks. He can play safety. He can play quarterback. And he's good at any of the three. I'd love to see the Lions get this guy. Will he be there at 29? I only hope and pray that he will be. But remember the name, Cooper DeJean, quarterback out of Iowa. Love to hear his name called at pick 29 on Thursday night. Number 7, offensive lineman Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. Won the Remington Trophy as the nation's top center last year. But again, the key is versatility. He has the ability to play both center and guard at the NFL level, and he didn't allow a sack in his first season last year as a full-time starter. That's pretty impressive. So remember that name, Jackson Powers Johnson. Again, I question whether or not he'll be there. When I was putting this list together, I'm thinking, is this guy going to be there at 29? I'd say there's a 50-50 chance on any of these guys, but that's why I threw him in on this list. Okay, so we're up to number 8 right now. Wide receiver Keon Coleman out of Florida State. Michigan State Spartan fans will remember this guy who played for the Spartans up in East Lansing. Transfer portal, went down to Tallahassee his senior season. He's got an NFL type body at 6'3", great frame. He can go up and get a pass 50-50. He'd be great in the red zone. 38-inch vertical. It was me again, like I said, he can go up and get a jump ball in the end zone. He was a marvelous high school basketball player. And he's home. He would have been very successful in college had he played basketball. He's that good. He's just a great athlete. What did he have last year? He caught 11 TDs for Florida State last season, and Keon Coleman might have the best pair of hands of any pass catcher in the draft this year. Again, will he be there? I think he's got a good chance of being there at 29. I really do. That brings us down to number 9 on this list. Edge. I've got the edge. Darius Robinson out of Missouri, the kid from this area. Versatile defender. Started his career playing inside, and for his final season at Missouri, he shifted to edge, where he had 8.5 sacks. 14 tackles for loss, and Aaron Glenn loves players like this who can play just as effectively inside as they can on the outside. And I'm sure once if the Lions do draft him, I'm sure that the Lions' new defensive line coach, or Terrell Williams, working with him, will hone his pass rushing skills. He'll be every bit as good as an edge rusher as he will be a run stopper. Lastly on this list, another great offensive lineman, Zach Frazier out of West Virginia. Folks, 4-time high school wrestling champ. How about that? Huh? Yeah. Starting experience as a nasty mentality in the run game. He sounds to me like a Dan Campbell kind of guy. And again, versatility with each one of these defensive players. Versatility is the skill. The Lions love guys that you can plug in or out on either side of the line, defense or offense. Center, guard, or tackle. He started at left guard and center in college. He understands leverage and football from his wrestling days, and he uses them to his advantage on the football field. There you have it. 10 possibilities, 10 players who I think are possibly could be there Thursday night if the Lions don't trade up or trade down. I fully expect them to do one or the other, but I thought, well, in case they do stay at 29, I'll throw out 10 possibilities that could end up hearing their name called at pick 29 by Roger Goodell on Thursday night. So that's it. I'll do another draft special tomorrow night when I cover the 5 positional needs I think the Lions might want to look at as far as the draft goes. So that's tomorrow night. What is this? Tuesday. That'll be Wednesday night. Tomorrow night. Again, thanks for watching. And do me a big favor, please. Hit the like and subscribe button. And I'll do a show late Thursday night after the first round. And again, another one late Friday night after the second, third rounds. We'll know a lot more then. Are you anxious? You anxious for the draft? So am I. Anyway, until then, and don't forget Timeout Saturday mornings with Andy Brown from 9 to 10 here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM. I'll talk to you all tomorrow night, provided I have a voice. So until then, take care.